Happy Friday, guys. Good evening. Once again, welcome to one more Facebook Live session with Aussizz. We have extremely talented six education consultants and managers from different states. And today, we have one very special guest as well, Nirav. Welcome, Nirav. We will be taking care of your migration questions as well, because in the past every week we were pretty much focusing on education, but we've heard your comments and we thought it's always better to have migration in the same kind of league as well. So welcome, Nirav, and welcome all of you guys. Today we're going to discuss, today's topic is of course IT, information technology. As we know, IT is one of the best sort of courses what students go for. The future jobs and the future possibilities when it comes to IT are tremendous. The job opportunities are really good as well. So that's why IT is a course which is widely kind of taken by the students. So let's start. Well, before that, let me welcome Ravina from Sydney. We've got Mickey from Brisbane. Aksh is again coming from Melbourne. Diksha is there from NT and Tassie. And we've got Laila from Adelaide. And sorry, we've got Wong from Perth as well. And again, when it comes to migration, we have Nirav. So Nirav, of course, we will cover most of the topics, but at the same time, as we are going live, and if there are any migration related questions, I'll basically put those ones in between. So please feel free to give your advice in there as well. Now let's start with the entry requirements. When somebody is overseas or even they are here, what sort of entry requirements are there when they want to start any IT related courses? So Aksh, can we please start with you?
Hi everybody, my name is Akshdeep, and today we would be discussing the entry requirements for onshore and offshore students for Victoria itself. So I'll start with onshore students. So the basic entry requirements that are there for onshore student for diploma and advanced diploma level is, first of all, English, which is 5.5 IELTS academic and equivalent. So it could be PTE, TOEFL as well. They are acceptable as in when it comes to admission criteria. Then comes your age. You need to be minimum 18 years of age in order to get admission in diploma or advanced diploma. Now, when it comes to advanced diploma, if it's in certain specializations, then definitely you need to have your diploma in IT before you get your admission sorted in advanced diploma. And then we'll move on to bachelors. Now, bachelors of IT has a prerequisite of 18 years of age, 6 band IELTS overall, no band less than 5.5, and then your academic background needs to have at least 55 percentile. Now this 55 is not for every university. For certain universities it's 65 percentile or 60 percentile in your high school. However, for most of the universities it's 55 percentile in your high school. That will be your 10th, 12th, A levels. Then for master's level, definitely you need to have 6.5 bands with no less than 6 in IELTS academic, minimum 18 years of age, bachelors. Now for certain courses like cloud computing, in certain universities, they just accept students who are from IT background only. So if it's from bachelors of IT, you can further move into masters of IT with specialization. However, in most of the universities, you can be from non-cognitive background as well. So anybody from bachelors of commerce, bachelors of business administration, or be that from nursing, they can opt for masters of IT as well. They just need to meet the minimum English criteria requirements, their percentile requirement, and they should have minimum 65 percentile in the bachelors as well. And there should not be any more backlogs at all in your bachelor's, and that should not be more than 8. For offshore cases, definitely if you're coming for a diploma or advanced diploma levels, you should have passed your high school, should have English requirement. That's similar to onshore students, and you should be 18 years of age. When it comes to bachelors, definitely apart from the IELTS requirement as well, if you have done any diploma, like there are certain colleges which package it with diploma, that is acceptable as well. Otherwise, directly out of high school, 65 percentile in your high school, IELTS band score, minimum 18 years of age. However, when it comes to basic requirements, they will check your GTE and your financials as well. So you need to meet the basic financial requirements, and the reason as to why you want to study this course, particularly in Australia and not in your home country, and if you have sufficient funds to sustain yourself in Australia during the entire course duration. For Masters of IT, you need to have a relevant background in order to get your admission sorted over here. English requirement of 6.5 with no band less than 6. And again, if you don't have a relevant background, you should have a work experience related to IT. Your resume, probably your work experience documents could suffice, along with the GT or financial metrics as well. Then there's another course, guys, which is Masters by Research. Now, that's again a very popular course which is provided by Swinburne and Federation University and Macquarie as well. However, this course has again a very high prerequisite. First of all, you need to have your bachelor's in your relevant background. So it should be in IT itself. It cannot be non-cognate background. Secondly, 18 years of age again, 65 percentile and 6.5 band, no less than 6. Most importantly, you should have a research proposal to present it to the university in order to seek admission. So for Masters of Research, if you have a research proposal, you don't need to find yourself an educator. You can directly make your research proposal, present it to university. They'll analyze your research proposal, and based on that, they will give you admission further. So these are the basic prerequisites that are there for entry requirements.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Aksh. It's good to know that PTE they've included, unlike nursing, where few universities don't take PTE. Ravina, now we'll go to our competitor state, the next one, the biggest one. Ravina from Sydney, can you please tell us if there is anything different when it comes to New South Wales, please?
Hi, Mangaresh. Hello, everyone. So I'm talking about the entry requirements. I'll start from the WET programs, which is starting from Certificate 3, 4, Diploma and Advanced Diploma level. There are foundation courses as well for the students like who are not directly eligible to go for bachelor's program or diploma courses. They can go through foundation course as well. So for basically Certificate 3, 4, Diploma and Advanced Diploma, the English English and academic requirement is kind of same. They need to have 5.5 overall, no less than 5. And English, for the academic requirement, they need to have year 12. And it like the percentage should be around 55% from their previous year 12 qualification. And if we talk about bachelor's degree, most of the colleges and universities are accepting bachelor's course at overall 6 bands, no band less than 5.5, and minimum qualification is required at year 12 level, and the percentage differs. Like some universities or institutions can accept 60% in CBSE or ICSE boards, and from if someone is coming from state board, other state board, they need to have 65%. In some cases, they need to have 70% as well in their year 12. And if we talk about masters, for masters, the minimum academic requirement is bachelor's degree. And in English, they need to have 6.5 overall, no band less than 6. But we have a few options where they can get admission in masters as well with 6 overall, no band less than 5.5.
Okay.
Yeah, Master of Research is also available in NSW, which is with most of the institutions, but the entry requirement are different with all the providers. But with Macquarie University, it is pretty much simple to get admission. They just need to write proposal. It's not like full-fledged proposal. They need to brief about the area of their research, in which area they want to do the research. If they want to do it in IT, they have to specifically choose a topic that, yes, this is the topic of their research. They have to brief about it, and then they have to provide 2 academic referee reports along with their application. Once they submit the application, then university will get back to them if they require any further documentation or information about the proposal or about their application.
Sure. Excellent. Thank you. Thanks, Reena. Now, before we going ahead, because there are so many people are kind of joining us, let me remind you guys, those people who just recently joined, that we are covering migration today as well. So if you have any questions regarding the IT and including migration, please feel free to just message us. Sorry, please feel free to message us on the same link, and we're more than happy to take those ones. Coming back to the northest point of Australia, Diksha, can you please cover Northern Territory and Tasmania as well, please?
Yeah, correct. So northeast and the most bottom, up and bottom both. Sure, I will do that. So first I'll start with CDU, which is in NT. Okay, so NT has basically two providers which will offer diplomas. So they do not have any provider which is offering a certificate in IT, which is really good. I heard in Sydney's this thing that they are offering. But for NT, there is one college named Australian Career College. We work directly with them. So guys, if you want to come and join the Diploma of IT there, you can definitely seek our consultants' help. The diploma is for 1 year and the fees for the diploma is 15,000. The entry requirement is very basic. You just need to be at year 12 pass and you just need to have 5.5 in your IELTS. So that's the only requirement they have. So it's very easy to get enrolled in that course. Now, when it comes to CDU, they have different kind of courses for IT. So they do have diplomas, they have associate degrees, they have bachelors, and they have masters as well. Now in diploma, they have a specific diploma called networking engineering. Like, so you can do a specialization in networks, right? So if someone is interested to make a career in network, that's the diploma for you. So the course is around $29,000. Yeah, so it's around $29,000. And with vet courses, CDU's requirement is pretty flexible. You need to have 60% in your year 12, plus you need to have 5.5, no less than 5 in your IELTS, PT equivalent. They accept PT, IELTS, TOEFL, everything for IT courses specifically. So no that kind of restrictions. Also, they do accept under 18. So for example, for Australian Career College, they have a direct partnership with AHN, which is Australian Housing Network. So for example, a student who is under 18 and they still want to come here, or if they are already in Australia with their guardian or someone and they want to study this course, they are like definitely welcome to study these courses. Then CDU also has an associate degree in networking. So like I said, like diploma is for 1 year, associate degree is for 2 years. The fees remains the same, 29,000 annually. So it's just like you get better specialization. Someone who's actually looking to make a very, a proper career in networking can go for that course. Also, they meet the criteria of studying 2 years in NT, right? So that is there. Then they have bachelors. They have bachelors of computer science. They have bachelors of IT, and they have bachelors of cloud computing. So all these specializations are there. The student needs to have 60% in their previous qualification, plus they need to have 6, no less than 6 for CDU in bachelors. So that's the requirement for CDU. When it comes to their masters, they have 2 masters. Like the course remains the same. It's Masters of Information Technology, but either it's for 12 subjects or it's for 16 subjects. Now, someone who comes from a IT background already, they can go for a 12 subject master's. So they do not need to study 16 subject masters. Whereas someone who is here for who doesn't have a background in IT, they can still go ahead and study IT. If someone has studied, for example, back in their home, they have studied business or they have studied commerce, they have studied any field, they can still go for a Master of IT, but they need to study a 16 subject course instead of 12 subject course. Both the courses are for 2 years, so don't worry, you'll be still meeting your requirement of studying for 2 years. Instead of studying 4 subjects in a semester, you will study 3 subjects in a semester for 12-1. But for 14-1, you will study 16-1, you'll study 4 subjects in a semester. So there is no difference in that. Accreditation and everything is in both courses. When it comes to ACS, Australian Computer Society, it's there. So student doesn't need to worry about that. So yes, pretty much this is it for NT. I will go ahead and okay, so the entry requirement for masters is 6.5, no less than 6 in English, and 60% in the previous bachelor's degree. Now I'll go ahead and talk about Tasmania. So Tasmania has 4 or 5 colleges which are offering diploma, and they are all for 1 year. So which is again good because student can go and just study a diploma in Tasmania of a diploma of IT, and they can study there for 1 year. So there are providers like Green Hill, Australian Academy, Brighton, Tay Staff, all these providers, we have been working with them. We have really good relations with them. So student really wants to come, they can come, and we'll help them to enroll in these diplomas. If There is also a diploma in University of Tasmania, as we know that it's like the biggest public university in Tasmania. So they do have a diploma in IT, they do have bachelors of IT, they do have masters of information management systems. Again, for Tasmania, like for UTAS, I'm talking specifically, their entry requirement for bachelor's is 6, no less than 5.5, which is really good, because a lot of providers, they do ask 6, no less than 6. So they have 6, no less than 5.5, be the student is onshore, offshore. So it's the same. For masters, their requirement is 6, no less than 6. So again, the requirement is pretty low in English when it comes to other providers, and their academic requirement is 65%. So you need to have 65% in your previous qualification to get into UTAS. Whereas for other providers, like the other colleges that I'm talking about, their requirement is pretty flexible. You need to be a year 12 graduate, like you need to pass your year 12 for diploma, and you need to have 5.5, no less than 5 in IELTS equivalent. Yeah, so that's about UTAS, and and all good. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Mickey, can you please tell us about Brisbane? But before going to Mickey, Neerav, I've got only one question. We'll quickly take some migration point of view as well here. When students which are here and of course overseas, what advice can you give us when it comes to migration if they want to start with IT courses?
Yes, definitely, Mangaresh. So, like, if you're planning to study IT, like Bachelor of Information Technology or Master, if you're already in Australia, particularly like studying in like Melbourne or Sydney, then they have an option for applying 189 skill independent visa, definitely after reaching to 90 points or 95 points. And they need to make sure that their occupation is part of a medium and long-term list as well, when they're choosing their master qualification. And they need to see that they will meet the requirement for the ACS. That's a skill assessment, that's a mandatory part before applying for permanent residency. So sometimes what happens, if your master doesn't contain the enough IT subjects, then you may don't get the skill assessment from ACS. And then at the end, you will not be eligible to apply for permanent residency. So while choosing a master, you need to make sure that you try to get as many technical subjects of IT as you can involved in that one. So we'll be eligible for the ACS skill assessment. So if you're studying specifically like in Melbourne and New South Wales, as I said, you are eligible for 189. But apart from that, if you're studying IT in Northern Territory or Tasmania, after studying 2 years and doing a professionally over there and getting skill assessment will help you to make eligible for a 190 state nominated visa, even with like 65 points, or even like 491 regional at the end if they can't give you 190 state nomination option. So studying in regional states will definitely help you to get a backup option for permanent residency, because in Melbourne and Sydney, there will be option for 189. But for 190 and 491, there is no pathways for graduate category in Melbourne and Sydney.
I've got one question here which I've just received. It says, which is the best option, 189, 491 or 190 for ICT security specialist occupation in WA?
So so if they have studied in WA, now WA is part of a regional, they have recently added after 16 November. So for ICT security specialists, they have an option for 190 as well over there. If you studied there for 2 years, and if you have like 6 months of experience in your field over there, or 6 months of job offer later, you can apply for 190 state nomination. So she has actually like a good option for 190 if she has lesser points, because for 189, definitely points will be higher.
Yes.
90.
Excellent. Thank you. Mickey, we will come back now. We are back to you. Can you please tell us about Brisbane? Is there anything which is different than what we actually discussed before?
Not much of a difference, Mangaresh. Basically, the diploma is still the same. Entry requirement is 5.5, English and 18 years of age, and year 12, the basics which already discussed by Diksha and Action Ravina. The only difference is we've got when you talk about masters of IT, so you have an option. Some of the students, if they have done an associate degree overseas, they're not classified as a bachelor's degree, so they can enroll into a master's course with a foundation course added to their master's course for 6 months before they enter into the master's course. Other than that, pretty much the same entry requirement stays, and the GT requirement as usual, and 5.5 for diploma and 6 for bachelor's and 6.5 for master's course, other than CQU being one of the toughest here in Queensland, with which requires a minimum of 65 percentile. Other than other universities can also accept up to 55. I think we've covered the entry requirement pretty much with the rest of the states there. So they remain the same. Back to you, Mangesh.
Yeah, thank you. Now, can you please tell Laila, we will come back to Adelaide. Can you please tell us about Adelaide situation?
Sure, thanks, Mangesh. I think it's pretty much similar throughout all the states where you're looking at diploma, advanced diploma at a level of 5.5 English, again with minimum age of 18 years, with a bachelor's of 6 and a master's of 6.5. So I think it's pretty much similar with diverse availability of courses, specializations that start from computer system up until website development, technology and all of that. But pretty much similar that what we've discussed.
Okay, excellent. No problems. We pretty much now, Wong, sorry, Perth. I can't miss out on Perth. Can you please tell us about Perth?
Well, Perth's a very beautiful city. You guys all know that, right? Western Australia, we've got a lot of vet courses and education providers. We've got a handful of universities, but those 5 universities are very good and specialized in very IT courses. So there's Edith Cowan University, there's Southern Cross, there's Curtin, the UWA, and Murdoch. All of them have IT courses, but some have been specializing in different courses. For example, ECU, Edith Cowan University, it's really good in cybersecurity. UWA, they've done a terrific job on how they process with the information technology and researching. And they've got different courses as well. So most probably I'll start with the diploma level like inquiry and entry. Like my previous colleagues have already mentioned, that the diploma level is pretty much easier for many international students who have already come to Australia and Perth. Minimum 5.5, have to be 18 years of age and need previous academic transcripts. And they can, after they finish their diploma, and if they want to, or if they opt to study in a bachelor's level of education, they minimum 6.5 if they have grade 6 with no band less than 5.5 each. Yeah, and if some universities like ECU, Edith Cowan University in Perth, they do accept students if they have a diploma, so you don't have to provide anything, like any English requirements if you have a diploma or advanced diploma in any IT-related field. Murdoch's a bit tough. Murdoch, Curtin, they're a bit tough, but they'll accept students who have the IELTS band of 6 in English. And UWA, they're pretty much all the same. And masters, you need a bit higher than bachelor's, 6.5, each band no less than 6. And there are some courses in masters, like for example, there's a course, it's called Masters of Information Technology, and along with a Masters of Electrical Engineering. For that, you need to have a background in engineering, but also have an overall English level of 7. Yes. 7, each band no less than 6. And also they're like bachelors of cybersecurity and honors, and they're pretty much same requirement. And we're not going to talk about PhD yet, but most probably like the university requirements and the entry levels are very flexible for international students. They do accept like a stat exam as well. And if you have a PTE IELTS or PTE, that's very like they accept PTE as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it here. Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Neerav, I've got one more question for you. Donna is asking, if the IT program is accredited by ACS, do you still need ACS skills assessment for migration purpose?
Actually, yes, because accreditation is something like they have it with the university and kind of courses. So skill assessment is the requirement from the immigration, right? So definitely the skill assessment is compulsory, even if it is accredited on the ACS by the university, you know. So for ACS skill assessment, if you have studied here, like master or bachelor, they will require to do a professional year, okay? Or minimum 1 year of experience in your occupation in IT. So if you have any of that plus bachelor or master here in Australia, you will be eligible to get the skill assessment done. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. No problem. And quickly, there was someone saying that if they studied in Melbourne, can they get a state nomination in Perth? Everybody wants to go to Perth. Wang, you will have more people in your state rather than us.
Send them over here to our office. I'll handle them.
Yes, so the applicant would like to apply for Perth state nomination while studying here or staying here in Melbourne, So actually they're not eligible because they require that they should have studied 2 years in Perth before making a state nomination application, that's a compulsory requirement. So if you have not studied over there, then definitely, like, even if you lodge an expression of interest, they will not issue any kind of invitation, And even if they issue, you will get a refusal straight away because you're not meeting their basic requirement.
Yes, requirement. That's right. Okay, no problem. We'll come back to the other questions. Now, the second point, what we need to discuss is, of course, pathways and colleges. There are two separate points, I know, but if we can combine pretty much pathways and colleges in one section. So starting from Aksh again, which is our home territory. Aksh, can you please tell us about Melbourne, the pathways and the colleges, please?
Sure. I'll firstly tell you about almost IT is available with almost every university and college in Australia, almost. However, all the universities, especially Swinburne, SCU, Torrance University, Kaplan, they all have IT components available at master's level and bachelor's level as well, even at a graduate diploma level. So the best package that a person can have is they can package advanced diploma or associate degree, get the credits leading to bachelor's of IT. I do get students from offshore who have done an associate degree or foundation studies online, and they have got credits over here in Australia for that 1.5 years of study in their bachelor's itself. So yes, associate degree or foundation studies leading to bachelor's. Then it's bachelor's leading to master's again, or a graduate diploma leading to master's is another pathway. But however, it's so popular that you can directly get enrolled, and the minimum requirements are so less that you can actually directly get enrolled in these courses altogether.
Yeah.
So most popular ones at the moment, when it comes to bachelors of IT is not just bachelors of IT, but there are cloud computing. Then there's business information systems, data and analytics, software engineering. For those, if you have already done a generic bachelor's of IT and you want to go ahead with the specialization on honors, that is acceptable as well. So if you don't want to do masters, you can actually do just generic bachelor's of IT and go ahead with honors program, get the credits and do those programs as well.
Okay, excellent. No problems. Ravina, can you please tell us about the pathways and colleges in Sydney, please?
Yes, Mangaresh. So pathways are basically same as Akshadeep has mentioned. So let's say if the student is not directly eligible for a bachelor's program, that student can come through a diploma course, advanced diploma, or even they can go for a foundation program, which most of the universities are providing. If they are not meeting the criteria, let's say they are not meeting IELTS or PT English criteria, or they are not meeting year 12 percentage, 65%, but they don't have 60 or 65% in best 4 academic subjects, then they can come through either diploma leading to bachelor's, or they can come through foundation leading to bachelor program. And apart from that, for masters, same, basically they require a bachelor's degree with 55% minimum in their bachelor. Does not meet that criteria, again they can come through either graduate certificate leading to masters or graduate diploma leading to masters. So English requirement is same for both the courses, 6.5, no band less than 6 if it is for postgraduate, and 6 overall, no band less than 5.5, or 6 each for undergraduate.
Okay. Now I'm getting a question here. It's about education. I've completed, this is Jaspal asking, I've completed BCA in 2004, and can I still get the admission in masters if I'm unsure? Anybody wants to answer this? Aksh, you want to answer?
You can get admission onshore. However, as the qualification is more than 10 years old, there should be a relevant IT experience, or at least a computer applications experience, which could prove that you have been continuing your progress in that field. That should also be within last 10 years. So if you have that experience, resume, work experience letters can substantiate along with your qualification, and definitely you can get admission in masters.
Okay, excellent. No problems. Diksha, can we come back to you, please?
Yep, sure. So pretty much, I think Aksh and Ravina has covered that there are pathways, like, you can go from a diploma leading to a bachelor. So for example, like I'll specifically talk about offshore students here. Sometimes they're not able to meet the requirement of 6, no less than 5.5, or 6, no less than 6. What they can do is they can come to a package of diploma leading to a bachelor's with a 5.5 in IELTS, or with a lesser percentage as well, because when it comes to a university degree of bachelor's, then they would need either a 60% or a 65%, whereas for a diploma they would not need that much percentage, so they can just have
Sorry, after diploma they go straight to second year of bachelor's?
Yes, exactly, they get credits.
Okay.
So because they don't have those percentage, like they have only 55%, and they do not meet that direct entry, they can definitely do a package course of diploma leading to bachelor's, and at the end they will earn that bachelor's degree which they want to earn, right, from the university itself. So when it comes to NT, similarly we have the pathways of diploma leading to bachelor's. Also there are pathways like graduate diploma leading to master's. So these all things are available, but yeah, we in NT and Tasmania, I couldn't find a course like certificate for in IT. So those kind of courses are not available, but yes, definitely a diploma and all these are available, and you can gain credits for the same.
Okay, excellent. And Tasmania pretty much
the same. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Mickey, can you please tell us about Brisbane?
Brisbane is basically the same as we've discussed with Isha and Ravina and Ash here. I would just like to add that there are some diploma courses which are for 2 years, and at the end of the day, if they're going into bachelor's degree, they only get 1 year credit for that 2-year diploma course. So they'll be ending up in the second year even after doing 2 years. And there's a really funny one here that we have is Advanced Diploma of Telecommunication, which is actually joined with a bachelor's degree from James Cook University. So you do 2 years Advanced Diploma of Telecommunication, and you can add that with a bachelor's in IT with JCU. And also we have with QUT, you can, after doing, say, you've done a diploma in business and not in IT, you can choose a major in IT with QUT. So you can do a double degree with bachelor's of business and a bachelor's of IT combined at QUT after coming out of a diploma course. And with the master's, it's pretty much the same. You, after doing your bachelor's, you can move on to your master's, or after doing your graduate diplomas, also you have an option to go to do a master's degree in IT. MBIS is one of the course which Torrance University is offering, which is a Master of Business and Information Systems. Not too much of an IT, but yeah, there are quite a few subjects of IT in there, network and security, and that's offered at Torrance University. After any bachelor's, you can enroll into that course. It does not have a prerequisite of IT background. Other than that, pretty much the same as the rest of the country there. Back to you, Mangaresh.
I was about to ask you about MBIS. I'm glad you covered that one. So all good. Laila, can you please tell us about Adelaide? And Neera, once Laila finished with Adelaide, people are asking the migration from when it comes to finishing any IT degree in Adelaide. Can you please cover the state nomination as well, please, later?
Sure.
Laila, can you please tell us about Adelaide courses?
Sure. So Adelaide institutes start with Cert 2 in IT leading up to Masters. You're looking at institutes such as TAFE SA, Fed Uni led by IIBIT, Jabin Hopkins, Torrance University, Central Queensland. You've got your Uni Adelaide, you've got your Uni of South Australia, Flinders. These are the most popular institutes that students do wish to go to. Now you're looking at this very similar requirements, but the pathway again leads to diploma, advanced diploma leading to a bachelor's, or completing a foundation program, having packaged with an English for academic purpose. A lot of onshore students who are not able to meet requirements do prefer to go in that process, but pretty much similar. Advanced diploma, master's, IT, all of them are pretty similar requirements.
Sure, excellent. Nirav.
Yes, so like if you have done the master or bachelor over there in Adelaide, it depends like directly if you moved to Adelaide from offshore or if you have been lived in other state, you know. Yes. So if you have directly been to Adelaide from overseas and studying over there, and if there are no special conditions, they can apply for 190, okay, after completing master and having an experience in Adelaide, okay. But let's say if you came here in Melbourne studying in any university, and then if you plan to move to Adelaide to study a same master but from other university, then you will require the minimum 1 year of study and 3 months of experience. but you will only be eligible for 491, not 190, because you will be considered as interstate applicants if you're moving in Adelaide, So basically 190 can be difficult in Adelaide, but definitely there are pathways for 491 if you have studied over there. So after completing master, bachelor, and if you have minimum 3 months of skilled experience, you can apply for 491 regional nomination over there.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. Wong, can you please tell us about Perth?
Yeah, Perth. Perth also has similar courses what all of my colleagues have said before. Diploma to bachelor's, bachelor's to master's. However, like I mentioned before, the entry requirements are very flexible. So if the student they're not academically secure and their English is not that really good, so the universities, the education providers, they give them a lot of packages to study, like diploma leading to bachelor's, and if they study the diploma, they don't have to study the first year of a bachelor. They get an exempt, so they can, in 3 years, they have a diploma, they have a certificate of diploma, and at the end of the bachelor's, they have a certificate as well. And universities like Edith Cowan universities, like they have a very flexible admission requirement, and they're very flexible to give you a lot of admissions as well. So the best thing about that particular university is that you don't need an IT background to study a master's. For example, you can study Masters of Cybersecurity if you want. You don't need to have a relevant IT background to study a master's course there. However, Murdoch University, Curtin University, and other universities, they kind of require you to at least have some IT-related background when you want to get an admission. For example, you want to study Masters of Computer Science and Forensics in Murdoch University. You need to at least have one bachelor's. You need to have a bachelor's level education, let's say bachelor's of business or whatever. And also you need to have at least one diploma of information technology or networking, anything that's related to IT that will further help you in your studies in the master's program. And then if you want to study master's, but if you like I said before, if you're not academically strong, your English is not good enough, you also have the option to study a graduate diploma certificate, and then after that you can do a graduate diploma, 6 months for the certificate, 6 months for the diploma, and then after 1 year you can finish your master's course easy. You also have the options to study honors, but that depends on the university's criteria. If you have an overall average of more than 70%, the university will give you an offer to study honors, which is for 1 year. Thank you.
No problem. Neerav, I've got one more question. This is from Adwait. He's asking, I'm currently pursuing Master of Business Analytics, but I'm shifting for marketing. I have my family living in Melbourne. What could be the chance of me applying for permanent residency?
If like he's studying something Master of Business Analytics, it seems that that's not a part of IT. So it's more like towards to management and the marketing. So as we are aware that like there are less chances to apply for that one in terms of skill independent and the family sponsor category, because those occupations are not part of a medium and long-term skill strategic list, So he can still apply, however, in different state or regional nomination. If he has a skill assessment for occupation, which is available in different states. So we need to get like more details in terms of if he has any experience, then we can do assessment and see if there are any states nominating that occupation, But definitely based on the family here, I don't think so they will be able to sponsor him, because the study he has done, that's not a part of a medium and long-term list.
Okay. All right. No problem. Now we pretty much covered the entry requirements. We covered pathways, available intakes now. Pathways, colleges, we take now available intakes. Now, of course, right now we are sitting in May. So the next one I believe would be June and July. Can you guys give us more information? Aksh, can you please start from Melbourne?
So the next intake that's available is June. After June, it's going to be July. Now, it's not with every college, but yes, certain colleges, they have T2A intake and T2B intake. So it'll be June, July. After that, it'll be September for a few of the colleges. And we do have October and November as well. So it's not regularly with every colleges, but yes, Victoria does have different intakes available after June. So it'll be June, July, October, September, and November as well.
Okay. All right.
Going forward for this year. And still the applications for Feb 2021 would be open as for September as well, if anybody wants to proceed with them.
Excellent. Okay. Perfect. Ravina, can you please tell us about Sydney?
Sure. So as far as it's concerned with intakes, There are major 3 intakes in a year, which is basically February, July, and November. Sometimes colleges do offer the courses in March intake, then June intake, and September intake. So it depends, but yeah, they will get admission throughout the year.
Okay, all right, perfect, no problems. Diksha, anything different for NT and TASI?
For NT and TASI, like diplomas are available at like in a lot of months. So when it comes to diploma, definitely there are not any fixed intakes that you'll have 3 or 4. It could be month to month as well, or sometimes in 2 months one intake will be there. But with bachelors, it's only term 1 and term 2, which is July and February. Same with CDU, it's only 2 terms, which is Feb and July.
Okay, all right. Mickey, anything for Brisbane?
Brisbane, most of the intakes for your bachelors and masters would be February, July, and November. But for diploma courses, unless you're going for a university, if you're going in a college, pretty much every month is possible. And TAFE would be January, March, June, July, August, and then October is the end of the season for them. And QUT only July and February. Rest of the colleges, yeah, as I said, mostly every month or every second month they would have an intake.
Yeah, sure. Neerav, I've got one question. They're asking any news about 491 NSW?
No, actually, there are lots of people waiting for 491 New South Wales. They have already announced the requirements from like last 5 to 6 months.
Yeah.
But they're saying that they will be opening. Actually, previously they said that they are planning to open in February 2020. Delayed due to the current COVID-19 pandemic, and might be there was like a bushfire as well around that time in the regional New South Wales. So that could be the reason they're delaying those things. So possibility that it might come after July,
Okay, all right. Laila, can you please tell us about Adelaide?
Sure. So if you're looking at Fed Uni, for example, most of the VET courses are giving you multiple options in terms of intakes, but ideally it would be your July, Feb. There are a couple of options available for March, June, September, but pretty much 2 to 3 intakes in a year.
Okay, sure, no problem. Wong, anything from Perth?
For Perth, I guess all these big universities, they only have 2 intakes for bachelors and masters both. And those universities who have an extension of their own body, like Edith Cowan University, Curtin University, they have their own extension, which, for example, like Edith Cowan College, Curtin College, they have their own colleges. So these colleges, they're based on trimester, so they have 3 intakes. So that's going to be February, June, July, and then October, November at the end of that. And other colleges who are not directly affiliated with these universities, they have multiple intakes. For maybe lead colleges, there's a college called Leeds College. They have intakes in January, May, July, October, and other colleges most probably they take in June, April, January, and September and December. Yeah, these are the ones. Yeah, they're not very consistent, but they also offer very lot of intakes for students who want to continue their study. Yeah.
That's right. So as we all guys pretty much know that due to this COVID-19, we pretty much were all underground. We can't come out of your houses, blah, blah, blah. Now, New South Wales was the first state which is kind of coming in, and they've started saying that, they'll open the borders for international students. Nothing is confirmed yet, but they are preparing themselves in that direction. Hopefully, all the other states are pretty much, we are thinking of opening June, July, whenever it's kind of get eased a little bit later. Now, so for an example, if it doesn't happen, still students can start their course online, right? There won't be having any issues. Is there anybody wants to add anything on this?
Sure, Mankrish, I can add. So if you are onshore, then there are no hassles. Most of the universities and colleges are offering online classes. So it is not at all problematic. But when it comes to offshore, if your visa has not been granted yet, then it will be a problem for you to start your studies. But if your visas, like for example, you have applied for your visa, you've got the grant, but you cannot enter the the border and all those things, you can still start studying. And universities are really being cooperative, like colleges that really being cooperative. So if you've got your visa, just start your studies straight away.
Neerav, do you have any input for that?
Yeah, actually, I would like to mention that because if they start study overseas, in terms of like meeting the Austrian study requirement, actually immigration has not made any announcement yet that if you're studying overseas online as an offshore, that it will be considered as a part of if you're living in Australia or not, because we require minimum 16 calendar months stay in Australia to be applied for temporary residency visa and to claim 5 points. But based on the current situation, I think the government will definitely announce that such kind of requirement so that students can even start studying overseas, and that will encourage them to study from there, even if their visa granted, but they can't enter,
Yes,
definitely. But we need to wait until the immigration officially announce that thing.
Yes, but pretty much most of the universities are of that thought that, if the students are, if in worst case scenario, if the borders are not open, we will consider them studying online and we will basically take that on board. So for an example, a couple of subjects are pretty much done sort of thing, then they will consider that the students don't need to do those again when they come here. So it's pretty flexible in that sense. Okay, Wong, can you please tell us about Perth when it comes to available intakes? We've covered.
Yeah, I've already covered that.
We covered that. Sorry, we covered that. Now, again, coming back to the other, I shouldn't say sad, but because everybody's pretty much in a financial difficulties and everybody's in little bit low when it comes to finances, are there any good scholarship which any of the colleges, of course will go by state to state, but please consider that when a student is thinking of coming or joining the course, of course finance kinds of is the first tick for them. So of course, we will try to provide as much information as possible. Whoever college or university, starting from diploma till masters, what are the scholarships available for students? So, Ravina, can we please start with you?
Sure. So in NSW, we have a couple of options, institutions who are offering scholarships. Basically, the scholarships based on their previous academic performance. What they have, whether it is related with their year 12 bachelors, and if they are moving from masters to another masters. But nowadays, most of the universities and colleges do have the scholarship program. So we have Victoria University scholarship to Master of Applied Information Technology program. And that is available for all the intakes. It's not particularly limited to one intake only. It is for the whole duration. And there is Southern Cross University as well. They do have 25% scholarship with them. Victorian Institute Technology is also there for Sydney campus, which is offering 15% scholarship. Yep. There is Torrance University, which again have 15% of scholarship with them, but that is basically for the transferring students only. So let's say if one student is transferring from UTS to Torrance University or any other institution in Australia to Torrance, they can get that 15% scholarship, and that is for the whole duration of their program. Apart from it, there are other scholarships as well available with the universities, which is like from 10% to 30%, but then again, it depends upon their previous performance in the academics.
Yeah, that's right. Diksha, can you please tell us about NT and TAS?
Yep, sure. I think last 3 sessions I've covered CDO scholarships so much. Yes, so when it comes to colleges, what is happening is they are giving very flexible payment plans. And also they have reduced the COE deposit. So if you're going ahead with a college for diploma of IT or these kind of courses, you should definitely get in touch with our consultants. They know the current market price, they know everything, because we get all these news from the marketing managers. So obviously with our help, you can definitely get those payment plans, you can definitely get those reduced COE deposit, right? Now when it comes to universities, when I'll talk about CDU first. They do have different kind of scholarships. Now all their scholarships are based on merit, right? So it's not like that scholarship will be applicable for all the students. So for example, they have a scholarship like Vice Chancellor Scholarship, Global Excellence Scholarship, then Global Achiever Award, and Australia. Then there is a state scholarship as well. And then they have vocational scholarships. Now these scholarships have different percentage criteria. So for example, if a student falls in a category of 80 to 100%, and they're amongst the merit students, they will be chosen for this scholarship, and that scholarship will be around they will get a discount of around 50 to 60%, right? So there are various colleges, and there is a different criteria to apply for those scholarships as well. While you are putting your application for the to study the course, you need to put this application as well. You need to give certain kind of reference reports, you need to show your intent to study. So all this is there. So we do have all these documentation. So if you will come to our office, our consultants will help you with that. Also, not everybody
They can't come to the office now. They need
oh,
to get...
sorry. If you call the consultant, I'm so sorry, I forgot.
Yes.
Yeah, if you if you want to know about this scholarship, you should definitely contact us. All our offices know about these scholarships. So you need to do a certain separate application, as I said, and the scholarship output will not come with the offer letter. Your scholarship output will come right before the deadline of the scholarship ends. Currently, all these scholarships are open for CDU, and their deadline is 31st May 2020 for July intake. So anybody who is seeking for any CDU scholarship, they should definitely put their application before 31st of May.
8 days to go.
Yes, yes, to be precise. So 8 days to go. So guys, if you're looking for CDU scholarship, then definitely put your application with Tasmania, like Utah. Again, the colleges in Tasmania, there are a lot of flexible payment plans in CU deposit, like reduced CU deposit. With Utah's, they have a special thing called TIS, Tasmanian International Scholarship, which is for 25%. Again, you need to be a merit student. It is not applicable for everyone. So if you fall under the category of their merit students, then you can definitely claim that scholarship too.
Excellent. Thank you. Neerav, I just got one question. It's from Nikhil. It's saying, hi all, any recommendation or chances of getting a permanent residency in telecom and network engineer with 85 points in any state, ? Thanks for all the sharing the knowledge, and great to hear from you all. Thanks, Nikhil. We'll try level best. Neerav, up to you.
Like he has skill assessment as a telecommunication network engineer. So that's part of medium and long-term list, So first of all, like for 189 skill independent visa, there are chances that if he has 90, then he can get the invitation early.
Okay.
With 85, the waiting time is definitely like long, around a year almost. So, and in terms of the state nomination, it depends. So for example, if he like move to Tasmania or Darwin, if he study there for 2 years or work there for 6 months in his field, he can be eligible for 190 state nomination. Or like, we don't know where he has studied actually. So, yes. And if he move to Adelaide, then he can have an option for 491. But definitely like if he's living here in like Victoria and New South Wales, then he needs to try to get 85 or like 90 to 95 points to get the invitation for 189.
Yeah.
He might have one more additional option, like based on family. So if you have any relatives here living in regional, he can get 491 as well, because he'll get 15 points extra for that. Yeah. So 85 plus 15, he'll get 100 points. And there are very good chance that he can get 491 family category invitation.
Yeah. Nikhil, if you're seeing this one, please get in touch with Neerav. I'm sure he'll help you out.
Yeah.
Okay, coming back to Mickey. Mickey, can you please tell us the scholarships in Brisbane?
Yes, Mangaresh. Look, with the diploma, as Diksha said, the payment plans are available and the colleges are very flexible because of the COVID-19 situation. We especially have one college which is offering advanced diploma of IT at Canterbury Technical Institute, and they're offering this course diploma for only $6,000 for the July intake because of the COVID-19 situation. So anybody interested there, hurry up and put your applications in there. Other than that, with your bachelors and masters, not many universities are offering too much of scholarship, but other than CQU, which is got a 25% scholarship for onshore students, but the minimum percentile for your bachelor has to be 65%. And James Cook University, which is come up pretty aggressive this intake, and they've got a campus here in Brisbane, and they're offering 30% on to everybody basically who wants to enroll into Masters of IT or Bachelors of IT, and they just have to meet the entry requirement. That's it, and no special criteria. And it's not going to be a bursary. It's going to be split evenly amongst all the 6 trimesters that they have. Beautiful. So they will get equal amount of scholarship in the first trimester as well. So 30% off for the next intake, which is July. So hurry up, guys. If you are interested in going to James Cook University, that's a very good proposal on hand.
What is the deadline for that?
It's gonna be 30th of June.
June. Okay. All right.
So yeah, hoping to get some more applications for James Cook University. Back to you, Mangesh.
Thank you. Thanks, Mickey. Laila, can you please tell us about Adelaide? Any scholarships, please?
Most of the institutes in Adelaide do offer scholarships. One of our cheapest providers is TAFE SA, where they provide VET courses for very, very reasonable prices. Other than that, you are looking at IIBIT, which is offering 25% scholarship, leading on to even your Uni SA is giving 25% only on the first year. Uni Adelaide, on the other hand, is giving 25% merit scholarship for the entire course duration. Moving on to Torrens, which is giving you 15% of transfer scholarship, which means if you transfer from one institution to the other, that's Torrens University, or if you've got IELTS equivalent of 7 with 65% and above in your previous qualification, you're eligible for 25% scholarship. Again, with Central Queensland University, you're looking at 25% scholarship, or if you do pay your COE deposit before the deadline, you get $1,000 off on your next semester fees.
Sure, excellent. Wong, can you please tell us about Perth?
Okay, about Perth, there, like I mentioned before, there's 5 big players. There's ECU, Murdoch, Curtin, Southern Cross University, and UWA. Unfortunately, UWA and Curtin University, they're not offering a lot of promotional and these relief kind of scholarships, but they have other merit-based scholarship, like my previous colleague said, like the Vice Chancellor's scholarship and everything. But right now, the most generous education provider is Southern Cross University. They're giving away a 25% scholarship for the whole course. Well, it comes with a cost. For the first year, the student has to maintain a very good amount of academic requirements given by the university. If they're not able to maintain that, they will not be eligible for scholarship for the second year. It has a bit of a trade-off, but I think the student should be able to do it. And Murdoch University, they have given 20% of scholarship for the whole of the entire fee and the course. So you don't have to be very smart. You can be eligible to apply for that scholarship, and it's a really good gig at least. And ECU, they also have a lot of other scholarships. 20% on the whole course fee, and also they are opting to give students additional merit-based awards. For example, if you've studied from Edith Cowan College and leading a pathway to Edith Cowan University, you get a scholarship called ECC Merit Awards. And you can also, if you've really done really good in ECC, you can also get a scholarship. And if you've studied from any other education provider from WA or like any other states from Australia, you're also eligible for a scholarship called the Australia Alumni Scholarship. Yeah, so those are pretty much the scholarships that are available here in WA at the moment. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Now, the last but not the least, our home ground. Aksh, can you please tell us about Melbourne? But before we do that, just one question came in, if you can answer. Can an international student go for TAFE courses? Question mark.
Yes.
Yes, certainly they can.
Okay.
If they meet the criteria and what course they want to go, they can apply. That's not a problem.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. That was Vishal who was asking us that question. Aksh, back to you. Can you please tell us the scholarships for Melbourne?
Yes. So for Melbourne, I think most of the universities, they are offering currently scholarship ranging between 10 to 30% for bachelors as well as for masters. As everybody said, they have mostly covered the diploma part, that they have reduced the fee structure. There's a payment plan, monthly payment plan that's there for students. Some of the colleges, they have waived off the material fee or the enrollment fee as well. However, for masters, currently they have done a lot. Like Swinburne, they are giving 30% scholarship at the moment. That reduces the figure of the scholarship to be around $9,500 per semester approximately. That's 30% for Masters of IT altogether, which makes it pretty cheap in the current scenario. Torrens is currently offering anywhere around 15% scholarship. Apart from the scholarship that these universities, they are offering, they are also accepting, now Swinburne is accepting one subject COE deposit as well. So like students who are facing currently financial hardships and they don't have much money to pay at the moment, universities are taking a due consideration and they are helping students out and they are accepting one subject, two subject deposits. When one accepts one subject deposit for COE, Torrance has also accepted to facilitate the students. However, that's on case-to-case basis itself. Kaplan accepts one subject deposit as well. So SCU offers 25% scholarship. For Bachelors of IT, again, it's 10 to 25% of scholarship that's being offered. VIT offers bursaries as well. So it's like $325 for 24 units, which collectively makes it to be $7,800, reducing the semester fee to around $6,800 per semester, which makes it pretty cheap for Bachelors of IT itself. So Victoria, in short, they have huge amount of bursaries and huge amount of scholarships to be offered to international students. And I think Victorian universities and colleges, they have put this step forward in order to help students with one subject or two subject deposits, and even with the reduced payment plans as well. So, but in order to discuss them further, I think it's best if they can contact our consultants, because there are basic requirements that they need to meet, and we would be best to judge that as well.
Of course, of course. Excellent. So we pretty much at this point of time cover all the aspects, and we try to cover the migration part of it as well. Nirav, before we kind of getting close to what we are finished time, do you have any last comment, or do you have any message for our students who might be overseas, might be here and thinking of changing towards IT?
Yes, Mangri. So I mentioned earlier as well, like if you're planning to come to Australia to study Master of IT, and definitely it depends, like you want to enhance your career as well. And at the same time, you're thinking that you want to migrate permanently in Australia, it depends on your goal. But as per current scenario, I would suggest, like if you will study those things in regional, that will definitely help you to get the migration perspective easily. Even though like in Victoria, like in New South Wales, that's still possible. It's not like that it's not possible here. But yeah, if you need to get you need to put extra effort, compared to staying in regional and studying in regional. If you're because if you're overseas, definitely you have fascinating that you want to study in like metropolitan cities, right? Rather than
Sydney, Brisbane, Perth, everywhere.
Yes. At the same time, you need to be ready that you need to try to get your high score in English and try to get all the points cover. But definitely, you have a good opportunity here in terms of job as well. Because Melbourne and Sydney have lots of IT companies, multinational companies, so you can get in a job and the good salary package as well here.
Yeah, excellent. So we pretty much covered everything. Thank you so much, guys. I know it was quite an intense session, because we pretty much covered all the basics when it comes to IT. Online, whatever questions we had, we tried to basically answer most of them. But if you guys have not still unsure about any of your questions, please feel free to get in touch with us. All the details of our offices, of course, we are not in the office, but that doesn't mean we are not working. Every single person is working from home and they're working remotely. So we are there to give you as much information and help as possible. Please try to get in touch with us. The numbers are already mentioned in this post. Again, thank you so much, guys, starting from NT till TAS. We pretty much covered everything, and we'll see you soon for another quick session. If you have any questions or if you have any requests to us, please feel free to send us a message, and we'll try our level best to cater for those ones. So happy Friday, have a very good weekend, and catch you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Mangreesh. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.